Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dads on the Rocks podcast. As always, I'm your host, Freddy Maas. This is episode 29 of the show, coming out, if you're listening to it, as soon as the show comes out, mid-July. I'm going back to doing one show a month, coming out on the first of every month, but a good buddy of mine that I've known for a long time reached out to me, said he was down with doing the show, and I will never say no to this man. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my really good friends, Mr. Joe Hernaez. Joe, say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Joe, I think you've listened to the show, so you know that every episode we start with a toast. But I want to know what you're drinking and your family life and all that stuff. But first, I get to say mine because I'm the host. I do whatever I want. So tonight, I am drinking a Divine Barrel, a local brewery up here in North Carolina. It's a hazy IPA, and it is tasty. Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're drinking tonight, but more importantly, who you are, your family, and all that stuff.
Yeah, so Joe Hernaez, I'm 35. I'm going to be 36 this year. Down here in Sebring, Florida. Married with 3 boys. I got 3 little ones. I got a 9, 6, 3-year-old. But me and Jen been together since high school. And going on, it's been a while. Shoot, since 2007. But yeah, it's about it. Just chilling out here in the woods, middle of nowhere.
Now, what made you guys move up to Sebring? Because we went to high school together.
I'm drinking a. Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt. I'm drinking an imported Busch Light.
Imported from the forest.
Yeah, it's imported to the grocery store. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. So, yeah, I was gonna say, like, we went to high school together in Cooper City, down in Broward, Florida. What made you guys move up to Sebring? Because I mean, I moved up to North Carolina recently, and you guys moved up to Sebring not that long ago. What made you guys move?
Man, it's a whole story. But you remember Brandon Pointer, right?
I do remember Brandon. Brandon went to high school with us too. He was, I know you guys are pretty close.
Yeah, so we've been pretty close for a long time. And he moved up to Lake Placid, which is the next town down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he moved up to Sebring with his family. And I would visit him since high school. So ever since high school, I'll try to come up at least twice a year to come see him. And we kept in touch every day. And so it just so happens that I kept coming up here. We go riding 4-wheelers and dirt bikes out here in the woods. And, that's the history on how I've known about Sebring. But me coming up to Sebring, we had a house out in Cooper City, and I had a business with my brother-in-law, and some things went south with the business, and I guess we had our differences and we split.
Mm-hmm.
So me and the wife packed up. We went to Louisiana. I went to go work with a friend out there for a week just to figure out what we're doing. And then on the way back down from Louisiana, we drove there. On the way back down, Brandon called us up saying if we want to stop by for a birthday party for his kids. And sure enough, we're on the way down. So we stopped in Sebring at the birthday party, and he asked me, he goes, "Hey, would you ever move to Sebring?" And I'm like, "Bro, you know what? We never really thought about it, but I just don't know what I'd do over here." But at the moment, I didn't have the business going. I was completely unemployed. I had really nothing going. So Jen doesn't work. So we kind of thought about it on the way home. But at the party, he was like, "Hey, my grandma's thinking about selling her house in Sebring." And I was like, "Really?" And it kind of sparked my interest because she has a nice piece of property. It's a 1-acre property with a nice size house. So I asked him, "Hey, how much for your house?" And she gave me the price, and shoot, I thought it was a really good deal. So when we got home back in Cooper City, I made a post on Facebook asking what would be better to sell a house, by a realtor or private owner. Because I was just throwing ideas out there. That's when the market was super crazy last year. Things are stupid high. You can sell a house for way more than what you got it for.
Oh yeah, it's even worse now, dude. Like, we just got our house and it's way worse now. That was my next question. Like, when did you guys actually move up there? Like, Was
It was
it
about,
dirt? Like that was probably at the start of the craziness.
it was a year and a half ago, but we didn't close till last April. Last April we closed on the house.
Holy hell, that's I mean, wait, this past April, like a few months ago?
No,
Oh, you're okay. All right.
12 months before that one.
Gotcha. Okay. last April. I got
Yeah,
you.
last. So, I posted up on Facebook, and my neighbor, she messaged me, and she's like, "Are you thinking about selling your house?" And I'm like, "I was just putting it out there. I was just thinking about it. Like, we didn't have anything concrete, you know. We didn't have the business. Nothing was really going our way. You know, we just thought about relocating and starting fresh with a bigger house and such." So she goes, "Well, my daughter's getting married this year, and they need a house, and you're the only one thinking about selling one." So, I kid you not, we just got back in town, and I made that post that night, and she's like, can they come over tomorrow to look at your house?" And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I was like, we got to clean this house up. And sure enough, they came over, and they're like, "We love it. How much do you want?" And I'm like,
I need an adult. I have no idea what I'm doing.
$300,000. And they said, "Sure, sold." I was like, okay. Sold that house. And then I was like, I called up Brandon. I go, "Brandon, I just sold my house. We just made like a verbal agreement, but we're going to the title company and getting everything written up. So we're coming up. We'll be there in December." And sure enough, they had to like get his grandmother packed up, get her out, and we rented the house until we were able to close on it. And yeah, we closed. It was crazy. So, we got up here because I don't know, things just worked out. That's it.
Now, how was it like how the transition from like for the move? How was that like on the
Absolutely.
boys?
Oh, the kids loved it.
Yeah, not you. I don't give a shit about you and Jen. Like, how was it for the
The move, like us packing up the truck and leaving, it was absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Everybody was in tears. I mean, it was a very sad day. No doubt about it. No
Yeah,
doubt about it.
we're going through that. Like my daughter, like my son isn't old enough, he doesn't know anything. He's probably forgotten everything about Florida already. But my daughter every single day asks about her friends down south. Like and at first she like right after we got this really big, beautiful home that me and Steph are absolutely in love with, and we're very aware of how lucky we are that we got this house. And then my daughter is like, "I want to go back to Florida. I miss Florida. I miss my friends. I want to go. I want to go play, at our friend's house next door." And like it's every single day, and it's still like we've been in this house for 2 months already, 2.5 months, and it's still every single day. Um, and it breaks my heart because I feel like I've taken her away from her friends. Like she doesn't understand yet that this is the right move for all of us, but it's rough on her, but it's also, did I screw her up?
No, you know what? I think the best thing, if I can give you any advice, is just flood them with a bunch of activities, keep them busy, and make it fun. You have to make it fun because, of course, they're going to miss some things about down south, but it's important for them to build a new community of friends, and you got to get the exposure because if you don't, that's the only thing they're going to hold on to is what fun they had down there.
Yeah.
You got to create new fun.
Create new fun. Yeah, I can absolutely see that. And we're lucky enough that we like our neighbors, like their daughter is 3 weeks, like her birthday and Allie's birthday are 3 weeks apart. So like they've been hanging out. There's another little girl on the other side of her. So like they're gonna have a real cool community of friends and everything growing up. And she's also made other friends too when we were living with Stephanie's cousins. And she hasn't even started school yet. So like I'm hopeful for that. And then she starts soccer, in the fall too when she starts school. So I'm hopeful for that. But
Yeah.
but I think that's a really great point is create new fun. Don't let her dwell on what was, but let her get excited about what could be.
Yeah, they're gonna have flashback. I mean, kids do that. Every time we visit down south, the kids are always like, "Oh, we miss it." And then we get back up here and they're on their 4-wheelers and the go-kart and they're flying and playing. You can't do that in Cooper City. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, oh, I mean, you can. You're just gonna get arrested.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of things we picked up here, but I mean, there's memories down there too. But still, I mean, you gotta get out there. You definitely just gotta, let them have fun. And I mean, it takes a while. It does. We went through it. Everybody does. Transitioning locations is a big deal. It plays a lot of mental, not issues, but it causes. I mean, it's a big transition. It's a big move. No doubt about it. Moving sucks. Period.
Yeah. I mean, we were very lucky that we were able to like stay with her cousins, and we have her cousins and everything. But like the large part of my family is still down south in Florida. They're actually closer to you. They're in Tampa, but we do have family up here, and it's nice to have that support system. And we get to see them, whereas we didn't get to see them all that often. And we love that. And we're very grateful that they helped us move up here, because this is where we ultimately wanted to be. It's wild that we had never even been to North Carolina up until this past November, like 8 months ago. We had never been here, and we had already decided to move here. It was, we just knew that this is what we wanted. Like we wanted the kids to get seasons, but not flooded in snow, so it's, and I think we made the right call. So I'm happy. It's just going to, take some time getting used to it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere out here. I mean, it's a small town. It's totally different than the Coop.
Yeah.
I mean, that city life and country life's two different things. And I mean, it's great. I love it out here. I love the country. Jen was more of a city girl, she was more of like, I mean, that's all she knew.
Yeah.
And,
so how's Jen transitioning into it? Because I can hear the frogs and the wildlife through my headphones. Like I can hear it. Like you're pretty, from what I imagine, like you're not on the street with a neighbor right next to you.
I got neighbors. They're old. I mean, I got old neighbors, but I mean, you walk outside, you can see every constellation, every moon, or every star. I mean, it's different, Jen. It took Jen a little bit. I mean, the first six months was really rough because you know what? We moved and we went through a full remodel of the house.
Oh, really?
So between living in a remodel, full on construction, I mean, it was crazy. And then being in a place you don't, I mean, it's stressful. I mean, if you want to really test your marriage, go remodel a house and live in it and try and do it yourself with her.
And you did the remodeling yourself too?
We did a good amount.
Good Lord.
Did a good
All the
amount.
while having 3 boys. And, it was a year and a half ago. Now your youngest is 3. He was a year and a half. That's how old my boy is now. Hell no, I would never do that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
No, it wasn't, you liar.
Yeah,
definitely challenging. And I'm sure you guys are even stronger, from it. You guys have been together for a long time, and you're finding new challenges to make your relationship better. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So, how are you and Steph? You guys good?
We are good.
Still kissing?
Yeah, we kiss.
Don't you be a liar. It's important. It's very important.
We are certainly done with kids. Allie is 4.5, Andrew's 1.5, and we're done. We made sure of that. But that's what we always wanted. We only wanted 2 kids, man-to-man coverage. And we were good with that. I wanted to ask you, like I got very used to having a girl, and then once my son came around, I felt like a lot of things were different. He's a little bit more wild child, not too bad, but he's climbing stuff constantly, and it's really annoying. And I just like he started to stand and walk way earlier than Allie ever did. He just wanted to go and climb and get into stuff. Now you have 3 boys. What was it, just crazy the entire time? And I can't believe your oldest is you said 9, right?
At 9.
Good Lord.
But you know what? Boys are great. I think they're easy. They're definitely more high risk, more prone to injury. They do sketchy things.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of have to go with the craziness. You just ride with it, and you gotta. I tell my kids all the time, listen, if you're going to be stupid, you got to be tough.
Yeah.
So, if you think jumping out of that tree is a good idea, if you fall and start crying, don't tell me about it. You know what I mean? Like, they learn, they do. And it's just, you just got to be along for the ride. That's it, man. You got to hold on tight. I mean, boys are a different breed. You can have, I feel like, I don't know. I don't have any girls, so I can't tell you how girls are because I don't know how to act if I had a girl. I'd probably raise them like one of the boys, but I mean, the kids go out, they touch bugs, they find stuff, they dig holes, they get dirty. They're super easy. I don't know. It's just Brandon's got 3 girls.
Brayden has 3 girls.
Yeah, Brando's got 3 girls, and he had 3 under 3, so
Good God.
it was back to back to back. So
are any of them twins?
No.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, looking at Brandon and raising girls, it's totally different. It's totally different. Girls, I mean, I don't know, girls are girls. I guess it's princess stuff and pink.
Which I admittedly I do enjoy. I've gotten really used to the unicorns, and my daughter is now into like doing her own makeup and jewelry and stuff. And I freaking love it. I really do. It's so cute.
Oh, jeez.
I really do. I'm gonna be a horrible boy dad, but I'm gonna be an excellent girl dad because it's a lot of fun. I mean, that's all I know so far. I mean,
yeah.
We'll see how things change, especially now that she's going to start like sports and everything. I'm not the sports guy by any means. She's starting soccer, which I know absolutely nothing about. Like, I still like pick up a soccer ball. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Yeah. I don't have a clue about soccer, and my kids are all about soccer. I mean, we're going on like season 6, and I still don't know what's going on. I coached last year.
You coached soccer, and you know nothing about it?
I coached Julian's team, the 5-year-olds or the 6-year-olds. I coached his team. I had no clue what I was doing. We just had fun. We won. It was all good.
Well, that's a good. That's something that I'm curious about. Like, I mean, I know you have your own business over there, and you kind of make your own hours and everything. So maybe there's a little bit more flexibility. But how do you find the time to do stuff like that? Like, not only having soccer, but coaching and things like that. Like, I feel like I go to work and I come home, we have dinner, get to play for a little bit, and then it's bedtime. And Steph and I get maybe an hour show, maybe an hour and a half, and then we go to bed because we got to get up early. So like, how do you find that kind of time to like do those extracurricular things? Like, am I just out of shape and I'm just tired all the time?
I have no clue, dude. I work part-time at Publix. I do part-time at Publix. I went back, and then I'm doing the detailing on the side. And then today I just did a physical for fire department. So I'm going to be joining the fire department team, but the volunteer fire.
That's awesome. Good.
And to try to get my foot in the door. But honestly, if you want to make time for anything, you got to, I guess, just jot it down. If you don't write it down, you ain't going to get it in.
Yeah. Make time.
Yeah, you got to make time. So whatever you're saying yes to, you're saying no to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you feel like you're sacrificing like your own personal stuff? Like, I don't have a lot of personal time. Like, my personal time is doing the podcast and editing the show. And largely it's just, having the interview, talking to a guest. Like, the editing I do, at work on my lunch break. Like, this is my time. Like, I've given up video games for the most part. Like, my daughter plays more video games than I do.
Yeah.
And I don't really have that like thing for me anymore. This is my thing for me. So do you feel like you sacrifice more of like your own Joe time?
I don't think I had much time in the beginning. I mean, like ever since I had kids, I mean, kids are a sacrifice,
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you're not sacrificing for them, I mean, what are you doing for them?
You're not doing it right.
You gotta be less of yourself and more of them in order to be a good father. So, I mean, you kind of find out how selfish you are until you have kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, most importantly, I think is not just making time for them or yourself, but for your wife. Because you figure kids can consume a lot of your life. And then you start getting separated from your wife. That's what, me and Jen were going through for a minute. It was tough, not going to lie, because kids suck up a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Always constantly with them. And then you got to work. And then and then there's no you time, and there's no together time. So you got to make sure you go on a date. How are you guys on dates over there?
Right now we're in a tough spot because I work Monday through Friday during the day, and Steph works night shift Friday night, Saturday night at the hospital. So, we have Monday through Friday our evenings together. Like we have dinner together. We have, we can watch a show after we put the kids to bed, and we get to sleep in bed and at night together. Friday night and Saturday night, when I'm off, and we can do something, she's at work. So our only time that we really get together outside of like the evenings after I get off of work is when she wakes up from sleeping for a little bit at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon on Sundays. So we get just a little bit of extra time. So it sucks. I'll be honest, it sucks. And I can appreciate how we get some time off, like on a holiday, like 4th of July or something like the Memorial Day. We get like those extra days off, those days off where she doesn't work, and we can spend time together. We could do stuff with the kids, but still be together. So our dating is shit right now, and it sucks. And we've been talking about that. Like we want to go out to a date and do just us, where we're not being asked the same question, 100,000 times, or having the littlest one scream constantly. It's just, we want to have that, us time. So
Yeah, family out there, you said?
yeah, we do. And we have options. Like we have Stephanie's cousins, and they're she's got 2 cousins and both of their wives. And on one of those they have girls that have babysit for us before, for us to like go to the movie theater or something like that. But I want to take her out to like a wine bar and listen to some jazz and on a patio somewhere. Right now it's a little bit warm, but in a couple of months when it cools off and it's real nice evenings, that's exactly what I want to take her to. And I agree, it's absolutely important to do that. Yeah, it was you two before it was the kids.
Yeah. No, me and Jen finally just went on our first trip together to Texas with no kids, and we were gone for like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that was our first trip together alone since our honeymoon when we got married in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, great. Day 2, we were like asking each other questions, like we didn't even know what to talk about. It was like so bizarre, and we were talking about like, man, you know how crazy it is? Like, there's got to be couples out there that are constantly with their kids, and like they never get time for each other. And then when the kids finally leave the house, that's when the married couple's just like, all right, well, I'm gonna split, because you don't even know each other after that.
Yeah.
And it's so like, it felt for real. I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, that was just an eye opener that date nights are definitely important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when the kids are gone, what's left? What's left between the two of you? So you can't like fall in love and then drift apart for 18 years and then see if there's still something there. No, you have to keep it together.
Oh, for sure.
So I noticed that there's a golf cart in that garage. That's one of the things that I always really wanted to get, was a golf cart, but never got around to it. So, and you mentioned that like the boys do like 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff like that. Are you constantly afraid that they're going to like hurt themselves? Because I feel like with my son, I know that he's going to break something eventually, but it sounds like as they get a little bit older, you have a little bit more trust in them. And dirt bikes and 4-wheelers, I feel like are a lot worse than, him just climbing up on the coffee table.
You got to take baby steps, you got to do it safely and teach them the right way. And, start out small with like something electric, and then work your way up. And then you can put a governor on the gas foot, set the speed, and then just let them go wide open, and they'll figure it out. They get scared.
Yeah.
You whip a 4-wheeler at 30 miles per hour and try to make a U-turn. I mean, something's going to happen. They flipped it a couple of times, and yeah, it was scary, but they know not to do whatever they did again. So
you got to fail so you learn. I mean, sometimes you have to go to the hospital when you learn.
Yeah. I bought like a golf cart off of some like out here. Sure enough, I mean, we thought we were getting a good deal, and then I had to change some stuff out, and we ended up lifting it and making a monster cart out of it. Works good but it was, just one of those learning curves out here.
Yeah. I
Much
mean,
easier stuff from.
the boys are learning things, and so are we. We're still learning things even at 35. Yeah, you'll be 36 this year. I'll be 36, and well, as of the time of this coming out in a couple weeks. But
Oh, really?
yeah,
Dude, yeah, I was in the kitchen the other day and I felt this pain shoot down from my back, down my cheek. And I'm like, bro, chill out. Is this 35 right now?
36, you get really acquainted with your sciatic.
I had
You need a backiotomy. I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten like the pains and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm just lucky or if it's gonna all hit me as soon as 35 is gone. I don't know, but
yoga. It's not all that yoga you're doing.
no, I it's not so much the yoga, but more so the goats. They just step on the right spot to make me not hurt all the time.
Hey, so with you living out there, it'll change the subject. With you guys being so far, how are you guys working out holidays as far as spending time?
As far as like family,
Yeah. Are they going to be coming up?
I don't really know. Will my family come up and visit me? Yeah, I really hope that they do. I mean, it's a long drive, but it's a fun trip to have them come up. It's harder for me because I got the little ones, and it's a whole ordeal when you load them up and you drive 8 hours. Like, we're going to Disney in November, and yes, Stephanie is excited about it, and the kids or my daughter's excited about it, but I'm just dreading doing that drive because I don't like doing it, especially with the kids. Like, we drove up here and I had the kids by myself, and Stephanie had the dog, so like we had to drive both cars. And we're like, who's taking the kids? I'm like, all right, well, I'll take the kids. So I hate doing that long car ride. I don't like driving to begin with. And, just having the kids in the car, just like screaming and crying and potty breaks and stuff like that. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not a fan, but
Yeah.
it would be easier for them to come to us, but it is what it is. And we want to go down there too, back down to Florida for stuff. And then on Stephanie's side, a lot of her family's already up here. And the ones that aren't, they can fly. They don't mind flying. They can come up here and spend Christmas with us. It's significantly easier and, more cost effective for them to come up here. So it's not a huge deal. And thank God for technology where we can stay in touch with FaceTime and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's like healthy boundaries at the same time. You don't have people watching you the whole time and you got your privacy. It's different.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment, but things happen, I guess.
And we dealt with that for a long time with like who we're going to spend family, like the holidays with. Like Christmas Eve, we'll go and hang out with my family. Christmas Day, we'll be with her family. And then, it was kind of like not an issue of contention, but like on my side of the family, like I didn't even realize it was happening, but we were hanging out with like Steph's side of the family a little bit more so. And my side was just like, can we please see you this year for Christmas or something? And I didn't even realize it was a thing. So it was more so about like being a father and a good husband, but not realizing that, I'm still, we have two sides of the family. So it was a completely blind thing that I missed. I didn't even realize it was happening until somebody was, said something about it. So, I mean, we don't really have to deal with that all that much anymore, or we have to deal with it on a much larger scale. So,
yeah.
But at the same time, like I would hope that they come up here, like on everybody, because Christmas time it's going to be 40 degrees or something, as opposed to 90 degrees in Florida. Like, come up and enjoy the Christmas season or Thanksgiving, fall. Come see the leaves change and stuff instead of palm trees and green all the time. It gets boring.
So now, where are you working at? You said Monday, Friday.
So I am currently working for the town of Cary, which is just outside Raleigh up here. I really, really, really love the town. It's a little bit different. If you ever watch Parks and Recreation, or if anybody out there gets the reference, the town that I work for is kind of like Eagleton. Like, they have the money to do really awesome things, and they do it very well. It's very eco-friendly. It's very person-centric. I really enjoy the town. I'm working currently in 311 as a citizen advocate, basically doing dispatch, but for the town. So if anybody needs anything town service centric, they call into 311 and I do that. It's kind of like a call center sort of, but I'm doing that currently. That was that was the job that I got for when we moved up here. I do want to work somewhere else within the town. I have a couple ideas for, where my skills would be better, something more in line with where my like education and degrees, are, but to be continued. We'll see. We'll see what happens on that front.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, man. What are you guys doing for fun out there?
To be honest, not that much, not yet. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do. It's just really hard with if it was just my daughter or if Andrew was a little bit older, there's more stuff that we could do. Like there's a lot of beautiful greenways and trails that we could walk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool festivals, like, barbecue is a cool thing up here. Like pimento cheese is really big up here for some reason. I don't know. It's weird, but like there's an entire pimento cheese festival that's huge. It's weird. There's farmers markets every week. There's a lot of really cool festivals and breweries and wineries. Is like if you travel just outside, take an hour or two trip, like where there's nothing. There's some really cool like Tuscan winery areas that are really cool that Stephanie's been to. I haven't gone yet, but there's a lot of cool stuff to go and explore around here. But ultimately, there's not a lot of time for us to do too much exploring, and even like local stuff. It's just hard with Andrew being so young. Like he's a year and a half, and I mean he can walk and run, and all he wants to do is run into traffic or climb something he's not supposed to. So it's
take him with you anywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but
melatonin knockout. That's what we call the nighttime gummy. Here, take your nighttime gummy. Like vitamin. I think we're turning them into little fiends.
Luckily, the kids are pretty good. Like when it's bedtime, like they're out. I'm a big proponent of having the kids on the schedule. Like 6 o'clock dinner, 7 bath. I'm really big on scheduling. Like yes, I understand things happen, but I'm big on scheduling. And because of that, the kids go to bed at 8 and 8:30, and they're asleep all night until 7 or 7:30, sometimes 8 o'clock.
Oh, bragging are we? What a brag! You see, brag.
And that's not like that all the time. Like the other night, Andrew was up for no reason at all goddamn night. It was really, really annoying, but it was a pain in the ass. But for the most part, the vast majority, like sticking to that schedule, we've been very lucky with having the kids sleeping all night, not coming into our beds, not calling for us. Like, yes, they have the bad dreams occasionally, but for the vast majority, it's been good. And that's helped us like getting sleep, and we're better with the kids all day because we're not miserable all day and tired.
Absolutely. When you can get a kid out of your bed, that's a win. You can claim your throne.
Yeah. I always felt like the bed was for mommy and daddy, no kids allowed in the bed. And then I was immediately shown how much of an idiot I was for thinking that. Like, and then my daughter climbs into bed. I'm like, oh no, let me cuddle with you. You're very soft.
What a sucker. No, I'm a sucker too. I'll sleep with the kids. I'll take turns each one, and they're on your baby for so long, and then they grow up.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that gets to me. Like I am hesitant to take Andrew anywhere because he's so little and it's very difficult. But then I'm like, he's only like Allie's only this age for so long. She's 3 or 4.5. She would be fun to like go and do different things. But am I gonna punish her and not do anything because Andrew's so small? I don't think that's fair either. So I like to take him to like one of the brewers up here had like their summer festival. Like just took him out there, and it was just the heat was just like in South Florida, so they got real bored and real hot, real pissed off real quick. But I will say that it was a lot of fun having them see snow and like making snowballs and sledding and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see that again, stuff.
Oh yeah, those memories are always good.
Yeah.
So is this your man cave you got going on?
So this is the what they call up here a bonus room. Essentially, this is a movie room. We don't really exactly know what we're going to do in here. The TV and fridge. The Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation are all hooked up to this TV. I don't ever get to play it because kids. But Allie, my daughter, plays Animal Crossing all the time, and she's very happy. And She loves it. Over here, sorry, everybody out there listening, this does nothing for you. Sorry. But over here, Steph and I were talking about what we want to do with this room, like what would make sense for us. We were talking about like a ping pong table. We were like, we'll probably never use it. But we were thinking like a pinball machine. That might be fun. Something like easy that like my daughter would like. Maybe like an air hockey table, something like that. So this is going to be like the when people come over, because traditionally, like after the kids go to bed, we're going to be sitting on the couch in the family room watching a show, and then we go to sleep. Not going to be a whole lot of time spent up here, but like when we have company over, like somewhere to play music and have fun, we can watch a movie up here,
Yeah.
or like play games or whatever. This is where like the fun hangout room would be.
Slap a drums in there.
So now I know that I remember when it was time to propose to Jen, you reached out to Stephanie's dad to do that. I already know the story, but anybody that's listening, I always really like that story. If you don't mind going into that, that'd be fun.
Yeah, so I reached out to Stephanie's dad because they were in a little neighborhood, Terra Vista, down the street from us. And we all lived in Rock Creek, and we'd ride go-peds, those little scooters with the gas motors on them. And we'd ride Rock Creek and Cooper City. And that's when they started being a problem. And he'd always get us on it. He'd always, like, if something should have happened, he was always patrolling that area.
He was a cop, by the way.
Yeah, he was a cop. And I would always get pulled over or busted by him or one of his buddies. And, like, most of the time, well, all the time, he always let me off the hook. He was super chill, super easygoing. We never really disrespected anybody back in the day. It was like, yes, sir, you got it. And, it came a time where, I was out of trouble. I stayed out of trouble for a while. And when I was working at Publix there, I ran into him. I was like, Hugh, listen, I'm getting married. I haven't been in trouble in a long time, and I need a big favor. And I told him what I wanted to do. Originally I wanted to set up a high-speed chase. And he declined that very quickly. Hey, listen, get you a high-speed chase in Rock Creek. Because I wanted to put like a bag of flour in the truck and be like, woo, I got cocaine in the car. And
I wonder why he declined this.
I didn't tell him about the coke, but I told him about the high-speed chase. But the coke would just been, for me and Jen in the car. But then I was like, what about just pull me over? I put a camera in your car. I'll have a camera on my hat. And, I want to propose to Jen. And so we set a date, and, man, he made it work. We texted back and forth. And I told Jen that, when we got back together, because me and Jen were on and off for about 4 years. We were on and off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pretty young. So we take our little breaks here and there or whatever. Anywho, this time, the last break we took, I bought a motorcycle. I bought a street bike. And we got back together. And I told her I would sell the street bike, and I'll use all that money for an engagement ring, whatever. But I saved up enough money to end up keeping the street bike and buying it. So I told her, I was like, shoot, I keep wanting to go outside. So I told her, I go, listen, I'm going to go sell my street bike, my motorcycle. I want you to be there when I sell it. So she came with me in the truck. And your father-in-law and Officer Bell, the cop from school.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, what do you do? The drug thing? He was like the DARE officer?
Yeah, I think so. He was the school resource officer, I think.
So they both were camping out in Rock Creek across from that park. We call that park Powerline Park.
Yeah.
So there's a little parking spot next to the maintenance center. So they were camping out there. And I was doing like 45 past them. So Jen was like, oh my God, slow down. And I'm like, for what? And then sure enough, the cops, they came out and put their lights on and started flashing it. Well, backstory, I told Jen that I was selling guns. I was getting like AK-47s and other shotguns for cheap, and I was selling them. I told her, listen, I'm getting guns for cheap. I'm selling them for more. If you know anybody, let me know. So when the cops pulled up and they pulled us out of the car, your father-in-law, he was like, hey, Joe, so we got report that you're selling guns and might have guns in the car. And so Jen was like, instantly it clicked. She's like, oh my God, this is for real. This guy is selling guns and we're about to get busted. And Jen was freaking out. And so Officer Bell was talking to Jen and her back was facing the truck. So she was looking the other way. She couldn't see what was going on. So me and Officer Hugh, we're getting everything ready. And I was putting the camera on my hat. He had a camera on his dashboard, so he got it all from his car. And I had the ring ready. And I got right behind her, and I was on my knee. And Officer Bell's like, all right, man, you can turn around now. And she walked right into it. It was pretty classic.
That's awesome. I heard and saw that story. That was pretty clever, and that was, very well executed.
It was neat. It was fun, But it's on the motorcycle. And then we had an engagement party followed right after that. My family was there. Some of her family was there. We had a party at my parents' house. And then I think it was that year. I proposed in July or June. No, June 27th. I proposed. And then the following March, we got married.
Okay.
Yeah.
How soon after high school was that? Like was that? I mean, we graduated 2005.
So 2005, we graduated. Me and Jen started dating in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got married 2011.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that much time.
I mean, that's pretty similar to Steph and I. You guys were just a couple years ahead of us because we got together in 2009 and married in 2014.
You guys get married at?
We got married at the Hillcrest in Hollywood, which is no longer there. Apparently, they demolished a whole bunch of that.
My aunt did your wedding.
Your aunt did our wedding?
Yeah, Carol. She's the wedding planner there.
Yes. Wow. I did not know that there was that was your aunt. I had no idea.
Yeah, my family ran that place.
That's awesome. I had no idea. Like, I remember when we first went there, like the wedding planner, like the coordinator, was familiar with like Stephanie's family, I think, or something like that. I mean, it's been a long time. I don't really remember a lot of that, but wow, that's interesting. I had no idea that was your aunt.
Yeah, one of my favorites. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
So yeah, we got married at Hillcrest. It's all since demolished, from what I hear. So I hadn't been over there in a while, even when we were living down there. But I hadn't been over there. But I heard that it's all gone now.
Yeah, they got rid of it. It was old.
Yeah,
I bought it. They sold it, whatever. Got bought out or whatever. And I don't know. They just had other plans for it.
Yeah. But everything came back around. Like, we did like an after party at Murphy's Law, and that's not even there anymore either.
Oh yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, the Oasis at Hard Rock, that's entirely gone now too. So things fade away, but Freddie and Stephanie endure.
Nice. How long you guys been married?
This past June. No, sorry, this past March was 8 years for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how's that going with kids?
It's difficult. I mean, I've been having I think Steph and I have both been having an issue with, I mean, Andrew's at the age where it's very difficult, like the year and a half where he's very cute and everything, but he gets into stuff and he can't really communicate with you, and it's very difficult to tell him, hey, don't pull your sister's hair. And then he does it anyway. And, how can you discipline him? He's only a year and a half. He doesn't understand. So you do the best you can.
Smack their hands.
Yeah. And I've been doing that. And I feel bad. Like I smack his hand and he just gets upset. I'm like, well, don't do that. And then it doesn't seem to work. So I don't know. Maybe it takes time. I don't remember what it's like to have a 1.5-year-old. It's been a while. But I don't know. It's good. Steph and I are, as we've always been. It's her and I against the world. We're very happy. Her and I, our relationship is as strong as it ever was. The kids try it. The kids test us though.
That's good, man. That's important. I mean, man, it's so crazy these days. It's just like I guess when you make a big move like that too, and you got kids, and when it ends up being just both of you, it's just you two.
Yeah, exactly.
Not many distractions after that.
Yeah.
Between that and the kids, and I mean, in the end, I mean, you gotta fight. You gotta fight for your marriage every day.
Hmm.
And
At the end of the day, like how you mentioned before, it's you guys together, before kids. It's you guys after kids. Just make sure that you still like each other when the kids are gone.
yeah, keep kissing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, Joe, I think I'm going to wrap things up tonight. It was a absolute pleasure catching up with you.
Yeah, you too.
I'm very happy to hear that you guys are doing well on your own. That you got 3 great boys that you're, from what it sounds like, doing an excellent job raising. So I'm really happy to hear that you guys are doing well. As I do with every show, I like to give my guests the opportunity to have the last word. So anything that you'd like to leave our listeners with, any last words that you may have, let's hear them.
Here, cheers to making things fun and exciting with your kids. And if you're a parent, be present. Make sure you're present, because without your presence, I mean, your kids are going to be wild. Money is not everything. Your time is more valuable.
To quote one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, no amount of money ever bought a single second of time.
What movie is that?
Avengers Endgame. I had to nerd it up a little bit. I'm sorry. But yeah, I agree. Spend the time, be there with them. The time will go by and you'll never get it back.
Yeah, buddy.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, baby.